How are you feeling at this moment with the cinema and TV projects in which you are working?
Wow. Well, I'm ecstatic. I'm very humbled and feel very blessed. And I guess it sounds sort of cliche, but because I've worked on these, on this film and the last projects for the last year and a half, sort of nonstop, it's really nice to be able to stop for a second and actually see how it turned out and be able to tour with all the cast and promote something that we worked so hard on.
Yeah. And in this movie, you play Adele Wolff. That could you tell us about her?
Yeah, she is a very skilled sniper. She's sort of a hard worker, a very loyal person and a very close relation to Xander Cage. And so when he calls her wanting her help, she obviously is, there immediately. And she works alongside Xander in the best kind of way, and she's just always got his back, and she's just his sort of loyalist, most, trusting friend.
Yeah. How do you prepare physically for an action movie like this? Do you remember any sequence that was especially complicated?
I trained, we trained really hard. I mean, Vin and I, we kind of competed in the gym a lot. And that's hard because he's a tough guy. But we trained pretty relentlessly, and I needed to get a lot stronger because the machinery that I was carrying, the bags, all the props, they were really heavy, and I wanted it to look like I'd been living with that sniper, and not kind of be lugging it around. So, I worked on that, and then the actual training of learning how to shoot with that kind of gun was really unique also. And there's a sort of a specific stunt, which was in the tree, climbing the tree and kind of coming down in the silk ropes that we trained for. And all of those things were not necessarily things they wanted me to do. I had to kind of ask very politely and work hard towards it, but I'm really glad I got to do it.
Okay. And your character in this movie and also in others is a very strong and smart woman. Do you feel some kind of responsibility with the fans to represent this kind of women on screen?
Yeah, I think that it's important with my fans and just fans in general of this genre and every genre that they can go to a movie and they can see someone that they can relate to on screen. They can see someone that represents them, and by having myself, by having such a global cast, by having all these unique individuals and such strong women, I think that we're really opening ourselves up to bring more to the audience than what maybe happens in other films. And I look forward to seeing people really get into it because of that.
Yeah. How was your professional career before you get the chance of playing a role in Orange is the New Black? And how has it changed since then?
Before Orange, I was living in Australia and I'd done, a lot of different things. I'd done your job. I was a host, I was a presenter, an interviewer at a radio show and clothing label, like so many different avenues that I went down, but I always really wanted to be an actor, and I wanted to pursue that. It was just such a interesting journey that life took me on to get me to where I am now, and Orange really was one of the things that changed my life and allowed me to, start doing these ventures.
Okay, and after this movie, what are your future plans in Hollywood? Can you tell us about your next projects?
The only thing I really know about is promoting obviously XxX, and then I also have Resident Evil, John Wick, Meg, and Pitch Perfect, and that's all I know for now, and that's quite enough for now, I think.
Yeah. Okay.